Welcome to my dad's podcast. It is called Up and Adam. Oh, and my mom's on it too.
All right, by popular demand, we have returned for another week of the Up and Adam podcast with Stephanie.
Hello.
So a few people actually reached out and said they liked the show. We got some random person on Instagram who I don't know these people, and this person messaged and said, "Hey, you don't know me, but I stumbled across your show, and I think it's actually really interesting and entertaining, and keep it up." And I was surprised by that, Stephanie.
That's why we're here this week.
That is why we're here this week. So you can thank the good folks at the Wreck My Podcast show. You can find them on Instagram at Wreck My Podcast. They gave us some inspiration.
Do they normally be mean to people's podcasts? That's what it sounds like.
No, let me clear that up. Yes, that's a fair question. It sounds like it's a really interesting show. They discuss pop culture and nostalgia and entertainment and determine if their memories that they have of that stuff now will wreck their perception of it.
Oh.
So they talk about things that used to happen back in the day. So I'm looking at a picture of Blink 182. Do you have any idea who Blink 182 is?
Adam Levine is part of that.
Adam Levine is absolutely not part of Blink 182. Adam Levine's a part of Maroon 5.
Hey, it had a number in it.
It did have a number in it. There we go. Speaking of numbers, number 13 for the Up and Adam podcast here. Stephanie, good show last week. We had a couple of people reach out on a few topics. We have some follow-ups, I think, for people. Do you want to clue them in on one? I know one that's really near and dear to your heart.
It's just because it happened to me. We talked last week about the Target registers going down, and I felt like I was a little bit jinxed because I was in the grocery store this past week, halfway through my grocery shopping, and the grocery store announced that their registers were down.
Uh-oh.
And so I waited about 20 minutes. I kept shopping. Maybe not the best idea to keep shopping. And they continued to say that their registers were down and they only could accept cash. Well, unfortunately, I only had $40 in cash on me. So I had to go put back like 3/4 of my cart.
Why are you whispering, by the way?
I don't know.
Feel free to talk louder.
It was like being in a library in there. Everyone was quiet.
But you're not in the library now, so feel free to talk louder.
So that was no fun. But I did make it. I got the groceries I absolutely needed for under $40.
Well, there we go. And that's an important follow-up. Stephanie was very upset by this this setback this week, and so she had some PTSD from it. So I'm glad that you had that chance to get that out. By the way, I forgot to tell people to follow us on Instagram and Facebook at the Up and Adam Podcast with Stephanie. You can find us there. Good content, post, funny stuff, and who knows what else. I also should warn you, while we're taping the show, the NBA free agency period is starting. And so I may be distracted, Stephanie. I may break into the show with updates and news. So just don't mind me if you're talking and I happen to get a good alert here that I want to share with the folks on what's happening with NBA free agency. A lot of movement may be happening right now, Stephanie. KD, Kawhi, Kyrie, Jimmy Butler, Klay Thompson, D'Angelo Russell. I mean, what's going to happen? So you just listen into the show. I'm gonna update you as it happens. 3 p.m. Pacific time. So that's 6 Eastern is when all the deals can be signed. So we'll get back to you.
That's the beginning of when it can be signed?
It is, technically speaking, you can agree to terms at that point. Although we all know that people have been talking to each other. Although you're not supposed to be talking to each other, people have been talking. And so stay tuned. You may see breaking news alerts throughout the show today as we watch the NBA free agency.
I heard that it's rumored that Kevin Durant was upset with the Warriors that they might have misdiagnosed him or made it so that he hurt himself more. That's
a true story. As far as I know, it was reported that he was disappointed. And then Andre Iguodala, I don't know if you're familiar with his work. So he was making the rounds this past week. He has a book out, and he referenced that the year prior he had an injury in the playoffs, and they told everybody it was a bone bruise, but it was actually a fracture. And so he was like, hey, everyone kept saying, why aren't you playing? You only have a bone bruise. And he was like, actually, no, it's a fracture. And so maybe there's something there. Where there's smoke, there's fire. Who knows? But stay tuned. Listen to the show. I'll keep you updated for all you NBA folks. And by the time you hear this, all these deals will be signed anyway. So this will be old news, but you'll live it with me and it'll be fine. Another update, Stephanie. Apparently, we have a lot of people in our audience who are pro candy smuggling into the movie theater.
I saw that. See, it wasn't just me.
I was just surprised at how many people took the time to smuggle in the candy. That's all.
By the way, I bought our next candy for the movies.
Oh, you did?
Mm-hmm, to smuggle.
So you smuggled candy. What can you tell me about this?
Well, I was at, where was I? Walmart, and it was like 94 cents or something for the same size thing that you get at the movies. That's $5.
94 cents at Walmart. Okay. And so next time, will it still be good? Is there an expiration date on candy?
Candy can last a while. I assume we'll go to the movies again this summer.
Is it wrong that I don't really like candy? On the way, Addison and I went out today for a little bit, and she bought some candy at Target. I don't know if I told you that, by the way.
I saw it.
And so she was like, here, have a piece. I don't like this flavor. I just don't like candy. Am I wrong?
I'm not a big candy person. I like chocolate.
I know you like chocolate.
But not candy.
Well, you don't really like chocolate. I mean, you like weird stuff.
I like peanuts or almonds in my chocolate, or I like chocolate on things or in things.
Huh. Well, that's interesting.
You said I like weird things.
You do like weird things. Okay. We're going to try a few new things throughout the show today. Anything else you want to update people with off the top? It's 4th of July week. Do you want to share with everybody what we're doing the 4th of July, Stephanie? Because I'm really excited about this. I don't know about you. I'm super excited about what we're doing the 4th of July. Do you want to share with everybody just what's happening on the 4th of July? Because I just think this is... yeah, that was a good sound. I just think it's important for people to know about it.
It's embarrassing.
Well, then shucks, you should share it with the audience.
We are going to be in the Mountain House Parade. Our whole family. Yay! And we're even using Adam's truck.
Winning!
Would you like to share why we're in the Mountain House Parade?
I was asked to combine my workout group with 2 other groups in the community to do Zumba routines in the parade, but I'm not that good at Zumba. There's another instructor that does the Zumba for us. I do the other classes, so we're using your truck, and I'm going to be walking, handing out candy, but I will not be Zumbaing. If that's a word.
Can we get back to you do Zumba for a second? What's that like?
It's fun. I'm sure if you watched me, you would laugh the whole entire time.
Okay. It's fun. For those who might not be familiar with what Zumba is, can you share with us a little bit about what a Zumba class looks like?
Well, normal Zumba is like dancing to music, basically. We do what's called Zumba Strong.
Okay.
And that's more like you're doing a workout to music. So you're squatting, lunging.
I'm sorry. Breaking news here. Looks like, according to the TV here, Kevin Durant's going to sign with the Brooklyn Nets.
Wow.
Brooklyn Nets. Looks like 4 years, 164 to Brooklyn. Now, unconfirmed, he can't sign until 6 p.m. Eastern. So Durant leaving the Warriors potentially to sign with the Brooklyn Nets.
But then he can't play for at least a year, right?
He will not play for a year, no, but he'll have $164 million. I think he'll be okay.
But so does that money start this next coming year?
Sure. As soon as he puts his name on the paper, it starts.
So he gets paid for a whole year of not playing?
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
It's a risk. I mean, he's a top 5 NBA player, and I guess they feel like it's worth the risk. So Durant to the Nets. This is according to Woj on ESPN. If you know who Woj is, you know it's probably pretty legit. 4 years, 164. Durant to the Nets. Sorry, Stephanie, continue. What is Zumba again?
I think we can move on from that.
I actually didn't hear what you said.
It's a workout to music. So you're squatting, lunging, mountain climbing.
Isn't every workout to like...
It's not so much dancing is what I'm saying.
What is it then?
I just told you. It's like...
I have music on and I work out. Am I doing Zumba?
You're doing it to the beat of the music.
Well, that's an important clarification. So as the beat of the music goes, you're doing a certain move?
Squats, lunges. We also have Zumba sticks. So we're moving our arms.
Okay. Zumba sticks, moving the arms. So we will be in the 4th of July parade where there will be Zumba happening. Stephanie won't be in the Zumba. Maybe I'm driving the truck, correct?
Yeah. Are you going to put the windows down?
I don't know.
Are you going to wave to everyone?
If I can. I mean, I'm a friendly, happy person. I can do that. Maybe I'll live stream it for our friends to see the parade.
How crowded the Mountain House Parade
just
is.
so I can see what's happening and show the Zumba. Are you going to be? Is there going to be Zumba routines?
Huh?
Are there going to be Zumba routines?
There's 3.
Okay. So there's 3 routines that are happening, and you won't be dancing in these.
I will not.
Okay. All right.
3 over and over.
We understand. Addison is here to tell us there's a big spider in the other room.
know, honey.
We understand that, Addison. We will get to that momentarily. We're trying to get to the bottom of Mommy's Zumba routine, and maybe we'll live stream that. So the Mountain House 4th of July parade featuring the great Zumba techniques of Stephanie may be coming soon here, only on the Up and Adam podcast. Stick around. We get news next, a different twist on news this week. So listen to this music, and then you'll hear my voice again.
My dad tells my mom what's going on in the world. This should go well.
All right, we're back with news. Before that, though, quick spider update. We did not find the spider. Is that correct?
Correct.
All right, so just to get you back reoriented, as we were trying to talk in the first segment, we were probably a little rushed there. A, I wasn't listening to most of it, and then B, Addison was standing at the door, mouthing there was a spider. Stephanie went out to take care of said spider. No spider there.
Yes, because she left the spider to come tell us there was a spider instead
How was
of
it?
killing
Was it now? Do we think it was a large spider?
I asked her how big, and she showed me like a size of bigger than a quarter. I said, you were exaggerating.
How did our child become such deathly afraid of insects of any kind?
I have no idea. She's never been like hurt by them, but literally a fly goes by her head and she screams like somebody's hurting her.
Yeah. All right. Well, so spider update, no spider death as of yet. So fret not, though. We'll keep you updated on that as well. We have news this week. You know what? Here's what we were thinking, right? This show should really be a representation of our real lives. I've talked about that during numerous episodes. And so what happens in real life is Stephanie just goes through her phone and reads things that are happening in the world, many of which I don't care about, but many, if not all of which, I have questions about because she doesn't explain them very well. There's some details left out, and so I want to make sure that we have an opportunity to to go through and have a real representation. So from now on, Stephanie's just going to read the news. Stephanie read the news, and I'll ask a lot of questions. She'll have no answers. I may ask a few questions. I may have a few topics myself. But it's much better off when Stephanie reads the news. So let's just let Stephanie do that going forward.
Okay. I'm ready.
All right. Well, I mean, you don't need my permission.
All right. So.
I'm sorry, real quick. Kyrie Irving has also agreed now to sign with the Nets. So that's Kyrie Irving, 4-year, $141 million deal with the Nets.
Did he play for Warriors too?
He did not. Kyrie Irving was on the Celtics. So that means that the Nets potentially have now signed both Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. So 2 of probably the top 10 players in the NBA will now be heading to the Brooklyn Nets.
Ooh, they might win a championship.
They might not win a championship.
Not this year.
Not this year. Probably not for a while. So Kyrie's interesting. He's a mercurial type, if you will. Very talented player, but he hasn't had a lot of success outside of his LeBron years. Did not do well this past year in Boston. A lot of issues there. So he's going to apparently now team up with Kevin Durant to play with the Brooklyn Nets. DeAndre Jordan also joining them. He's not really important, so don't worry about DeAndre Jordan. But he is a big man. He can move. He can't shoot between here and my TV, so I'm not worried about that. But so the balance of power in the NBA moving around a little bit here, Stephanie, as the show progresses. So I'm sorry, I interrupted you. Continue with your news.
All right. I got to think about where I was.
You hadn't started yet, so it shouldn't be that hard.
Okay. So we've had cats before in our past, not our past life.
How long have you been here? My word.
Past houses. And right now, we were lucky enough to leave our cat in Florida with your grandmother. But this Amazon engineer made an all-powered cat flap to stop his cat from bringing home dead animals in the middle of the night. Now, obviously, it was an indoor-outdoor cat. Why are you laughing?
I'm sorry. What kind of powered?
I don't know. AL powered. Maybe that's what it's supposed to mean.
This is awkward. So I think what that actually says is AI. Artificial intelligence. Not Al. Who is Al, and why is he powering? That didn't seem the least bit odd to you when you read that story. Like, wow, I wonder who Al is.
I forgot an L. I thought it was all. This is how I tell Adam stories, honestly.
All right. So that's AI, artificial intelligence, a AI-powered cat door. So continue.
Okay, so this is actually like
powered.
genius because his cat was bringing home dead birds and stuff in the middle of the night and waking him up with them. So there's a camera on the door, and it actually can sense if the cat has a animal in its presence, like its mouth or its paw. And if it does, it locks the cat flap. And so it can't get in for 15 minutes.
Do we know how it does that? Like what?
It's motion sensor.
Okay. Well, the cat's going to set off motion every time he walks in.
It says the camera was loaded with machine vision algorithms trained by the Amazon engineer himself. They identified whether Metric's the name of the cat, by the way, was coming or going, and whether he had prey in his mouth.
I'm sorry. Don't bury the lead there. What? The name of the cat is Metric?
Mm-hmm. And then...
Is that a good name for a cat?
I think that's a great name, especially for an engineer. And then...
All right, let's put it on the poll. What other name would an engineer name his cat other than Metric? So we'll get that started here later on because there's no poll and no one's listening right now. So go ahead. Okay, so Metric the cat can no longer bring in dead carcasses or carcass, I'm not sure how that is, inside of his cat door because Al has powered it. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
AI was powered by it.
Okay.
So it would lock for 15 minutes.
Okay.
And then the engineer would also get a text. And when the cat did that, it says the system also sends a donation and Ham calls it blood money. That's the name of the engineer, sorry. To the National Audubon Society, which protects the birds cats love to kill. Every time it locks.
There's a lot going on here that I need to understand some more. So let's rewind that back part here. So when the thing goes off, there's like an auto withdrawal in this guy's bank account to go to some sort of a donation.
It says so. It says the system also sends a donation or blood money to the National Audubon Society.
You can leave out the blood money. I understand what blood money means.
Which protects the birds that cats love to kill.
Well, what if it's not a bird, though? So birds are just winning every time?
I guess so.
Like, what if he gets a worm? Does it matter how big?
It didn't say in the article, but it did say mice, rats, or birds. Mice,
rats, or birds. Okay. Well, that's some really good news.
Interesting. It's genius.
It's not interesting. A lot of details I think we're missing there, though. I want to come back to that story later on, maybe if I have time. I'm just not that interested in it, though.
Okay, I try.
All right, let's hope this next story is as exciting as owl-powered cat door. Stephanie, what's story news item number 2? I'm not sure if that's a story in news. I'm not sure what to do with that. Go ahead.
Well, this is sweet. There's a New York Giants rookie. I'm hoping I say his name right. DeAndre Baker.
That sounds about right.
He surprised his mom.
Real quick, breaking news. Chris Middleton to the Bucks. 5 years, $178 million. That seems like a lot of money for Chris Middleton. Don't you agree?
I don't even know who that is.
Middle of the road shooter, good player, probably a good number 3 type guy on the team. Now they have Giannis Antetokounmpo on the Bucks, so he's pretty good. But 5 for 178. Stephanie, off the top of your head, can you tell me how much money that is a year? Can you do math in your head? 5 for 178. Go.
Quickly.
Go. I can do it. I don't need that. I don't need you. Go.
$35.5 million.
Really? Yeah, you're right. $35.5 million a year for Chris Middleton.
That's just ridiculous. Like that kind of money needs to go to teachers who have a much more responsible job than playing basketball.
Well, teachers might also want the Brooke Lopez contract. Brooke Lopez also re-signs with Milwaukee, 4 years, $52 million.
He's the guy who has a brother that plays or played.
Twin brother does play. So Milwaukee now bringing back their entire core because they're bringing back Middleton and Lopez. Malcolm Brogdon is a restricted free agent, so keep your eyes out for that one. So far, these are all moves in the East, though. I mean, the West has really been a power. So far, a lot of moves in the East. We'll see what happens. Clay, Kawhi still out there. Continue with your story.
Okay, so at least I was talking about sports.
Well, you were somebody from the Giants.
New York Giants rookie.
By the way, I don't like the New York Giants. You know that, right?
I know. It was just a nice thing that he did. But
no Cowboys did anything nice?
Not that I saw.
I mean, feel free to read the internet.
The New York Giants rookie DeAndre Baker surprised his mom with a Bentley when he got when he's signed.
Mhm.
I don't think he's actually started playing yet.
I have no idea who that is.
But he had a picture with his mom being
Okay.
surprised with the Bentley, and he wrote, "I told Mama we straight. Remember we used to be in a Nissan?" Which I thought was kind of funny because we drive a Nissan. So it's like, oh boy, are we poor because we had a Nissan?
Well, that story took a twist I wasn't expecting. I don't think that DeAndre Baker's calling us out specifically for driving a Nissan.
No, I know.
And he's probably not one of the newer Nissans. I mean, he's maybe referring to an older Nissan. I mean, a Bentley seems like an interesting gift. I don't know. It seems like a pretty fancy car to get somebody.
Well, so my question to you is,
Yeah, okay, good questions.
like, if our kids become famous like this in the future, do we
Oh.
expect them to do something like that for us? Buy us a house, a car?
I would hope so. I would hope that they would want to get us something nice and do something nice for us. I mean, I wouldn't want a car, although Aiden probably will want to buy us a car because he's really into cars. I'll take a house for sure.
He's going to want to buy the car and keep it. He might have the intention of saying this is for mom and dad and then be like, no, I really, really like this car.
But for what purpose do you think that our children would be of a position to make this kind of money that they'd buy us things? Like, I feel like I'm going to go on a limb here. I love my children to death. Sports are not going to be their avenue. I mean, Aiden has not. He cried having to go to his T-ball games last year, right? So I feel like sports isn't up to his avenue.
Addison wouldn't make much with soccer.
Addison may make some money with soccer, but she'd have to be pretty freaking good, and she'd have to play probably over in Europe because there's not a ton of money here in the women's professional soccer league. So what do you suspect that our children might do that would earn them a significant amount of money?
Aiden could be a race car driver.
A race car driver. Okay. That's fair. I mean, yeah, I mean, I guess you can make a pretty penny doing that, I suppose. I mean, NASCAR's kind of dying, though. I mean, NASCAR was a up-and-coming sport. Seems like it's kind of fallen by the wayside.
Yeah, I don't hear that much about it anymore.
I know, and you're always plugged in to the circuits where you'd hear about those kind of things. What about Addison? Anything you think she inventing things? Do you think there's like a painting, singing, drawing?
She does like to do artwork, but I don't think it's millionaire worthy.
Okay.
I'm not sure with her.
Okay.
I think she could maybe play soccer in her future, but that's not something that she can be buying as a Bentley with.
Okay. So we're not getting a Bentley.
No.
So this just in, no Bentley for us. Okay. Well, fair enough. It's a nice story, and I do hope our children would buy us things if they have an opportunity to.
Yeah, that would be nice.
That would. I mean, it would not be nice.
If you just add up the amount of money we spent on Aiden's Hot Wheel cars, he owes us like at least $1,000.
I mean, I think a lot of. Well, I mean, isn't it true? Like you spend like $10 million or something, some ridiculous number, probably more than that, less than that. I don't know.
I was gonna say, I hope not 10 million.
On raising a child.
It's a lot of money. I think I read like $150,000.
It's got to be more than that.
Depends on if
I mean,
they go to college or not.
Well, college hopefully is taken care of for the kids.
By who?
Didn't we already have like a prepaid situation
But
for our
we're
kids?
physically paying for it still.
Well, sure, but we're watch out for the microphone. We're paying reduced rates. Okay, great story number 2. Story number how many do you got there? I see this piece of paper here. There's a bunch of stuff on
There's
there.
just one more.
All right, only one more.
Yeah.
Okay.
You don't have any more news to break in and interrupt me with?
Nothing's going on right now. Again, we got Durant and Kyrie to the Nets. So it has passed 6 p.m. on the East Coast now. So this is when people can officially begin signing contracts or agreeing to stuff, although they've already obviously agreed to stuff. So Kyrie and Durant to the Nets. Looks like Kawhi still out there to decide. Klay Thompson's expected to go back to Golden State, but we'll see. I'll keep you updated. Back to you, Bob.
I'm sure you will. You'll find the perfect time to interrupt me.
I will.
All right. So this last one, some of you might have heard about this.
JJ Redick
You're such a pain.
to the Pelicans. 2 years, $26.5 million. Now, the Pelicans are interesting, Steph, because they lost Anthony Davis. They traded him to the Lakers. They had Zion Williamson. They signed him. They also got a couple other guys in the draft. So the Pelicans making an interesting run here. JJ Redick, 2 for 26. it's a decent deal. He's a good shooter still. Veteran presence in the locker room, former Duke guy, he can help out Zion. So this could be an interesting deal. Redick was linked to a few different teams, but what this also means, though, is he was with Philadelphia. Philadelphia trying to re-sign both Jimmy Butler and Tobias Harris. So we'll see what happens there. So J.J. Redick to the Pelicans, 2 years, $26.5 million.
This guy's only making $13 million, though, and the other guy's making $35 million.
He's also not as good. I mean, J.J. Redick is probably one of the top shooters of all time. I don't know, all time, probably. He can shoot. He spaces the floor. What are you doing with the paper there? What just happened there?
Getting caught on things.
Okay, so he can space the floor. If Zion's going to operate the low post, he can kick out. Redick's there for an open shot. That's really what his game is. So, interesting signing from the Pelicans. Continue.
Okay. So, this girl, Mackenzie Luck, you guys might have heard about, she was last seen after taking an airplane ride. And then, so they have pictures of her in the airport. And then she took a lift to a park at 2 a.m., which who does that? That should have been the first clue. And then she supposedly went to this man's house, and that man has been arrested for murder. They haven't found her.
Kemba Walker to the Celtics, long expected, 4 years, $141 million contract. So Kemba leaving the Charlotte Hornets to go to Boston, so essentially replacing Kyrie Irving, who went to the Nets. Continue.
Oh, no, I have to figure out how much that is. So he's getting $35 million.
Yes.
A year.
Which is interesting. I mean, he's a good player, Steph. Is he that good, though?
I don't even know who that is.
He's that guy right there on the TV. That's Kemba Walker.
Oh, yeah. He's from, like, Africa, right? Like another country? No, isn't...
Please continue talking whatever you're going to say next. No, I'll leave the NBA to me. You're good. Keep going. I don't know where he's from. I think he's from New York. Go ahead.
No, I thought he was
stop
from
talking.
a whole other country.
No.
Okay.
No.
I don't know why that was so funny.
Yeah, I'm sure you don't.
Okay. Anyway, so this guy was arrested. Well, this contractor is now coming forward saying that a few weeks before this girl disappeared, this man reached out to him and asked for a secret room to be built in his, in his basement.
Can we just back up for just a second here? I'm not so while I can break down Kemba Walker at the drop of a hat, I'm not as familiar with this story. Okay. So the girl was traveling where?
She was traveling back from her parents' house.
Back, which is, can you, again, I'm looking for the, okay.
I don't remember.
Okay.
This is why I don't have all the details ever.
Derrick Rose, 2 years, $15 million for the Pistons. Now, Derrick Rose was, he's a former MVP, Stephanie.
I know.
A lot of knee injuries. He had a pretty good bounce back year with the Pistons. So he's getting 2 for 15 to go. I'm sorry, with the Timberwolves. He's getting 2 for 15 to go to the Pistons.
I'm never going to get through this story.
No, you were. So she was traveling back from her parents' house to where she's
going to college.
Okay.
And so she took a flight, and then she took a Lyft ride till at 2 a.m. to a park, is where the Lyft driver dropped her off.
Have we spoken to the Lyft driver?
Yes,
okay.
He's been cleared.
He's cleared. Okay.
They've been Lyft and the driver have been cooperating.
Okay.
So, but this man who has been arrested, the contractor who he had asked him a few weeks before this girl was coming to build a secret room in his basement. And he supposedly wanted a secret door in a space that was roughly 4 feet wide and 7 to 9 feet long. And then it continues to say, but then he slowly started sidestepping into more stuff, like wanting a thumb lock on it with a fingerprint lock and soundproofing it and putting hooks in the concrete. And so this contractor saying it was just weird to me. And, you know, when I asked him questions like, why do you need such a small room? Like, what are you doing with those hooks? It's going to look weird sticking out of the door off of the wall. And he's like, I'm gonna hang wine racks. And he said, well, I can just hang wine racks for you. He said, no. And then I said, well, what are you gonna do in a soundproof room? And he said, I'm gonna listen to my music really loud. And then he also said that like his girlfriend was coming in town and she's Mormon and doesn't drink, so he was gonna be hiding all of his alcohol down there or something.
Okay.
Anyway, so this contractor was like, this is really weird. And his son was with him too, because his son helps him out, I guess. And his son was like, we're not doing that job, right? Like, as soon as we got in the car. And he's like, no way. Like, that was just really weird. And he went and he told his wife about it. He told his friends about it, like how weird this whole thing was. But he never told the police. So, like, if you were him, would you have told the police? Because that could have saved this girl.
Well, let me ask a question. I've never worked in law enforcement. Have you?
No.
Okay. And this is with all due respect to those who work in law enforcement. Walk me through how this plays out. So,
He said,
hello, Detective Jones. Hi, my name is Billy, and I build rooms. This dude asked me to build a really weird room with all kinds of weird stuff, man, and I just don't know about it. Do you think the police are going to... It's not like she was in the house, right? So they're not going to go down there and bust this guy and say hey, you're under arrest for building a weird room, or we're going to put around-the-clock surveillance on you to find out what you're doing. So while I agree that giving the police a tip would have been helpful, I don't know that that would have circumvented what actually unfortunately transpired for this young lady.
And that was what he said. He's like, what was I going to go tell the police? This guy just wants me to build a weird room. He's like, I had no evidence, I had no reason to know exactly what was going on. And the police probably would have just not listened.
Well, again,
just because there's no evidence, there's no...
I'm sure they would have taken a report or something, but again, were they going to go down there? Now, unless this guy had something else in his house or he has a prior for something, but to get him sort of jammed up. So I'm sorry, I have zero knowledge on the story. Can you fill in some gaps for me here? So do we know how this this man came about? So he found her in the park, allegedly? Do we know anything more than what you've already shared?
It sounds like she must have met him on a dating app of some sort. Okay. And was trying to meet up with him. The Lyft driver even said, she wasn't nervous going to she was happy. She didn't seem upset. She wasn't nervous. It just seemed like a normal Lyft ride. And it just seems that she met this person through some online way and was going to meet up with him.
Man, see, I hate to... this is tough because... You hate to blame the victim, but person I don't know, right? Mm-hmm. 2:30 a.m. Park.
Yeah, exactly.
Doesn't feel like...
And that's what a lot of people are saying.
How I'm working out a first date situation.
Right.
But again, that shouldn't be the case. Obviously, you should be able to go and meet people and trust them and all, but that just doesn't seem... Yeah. Yeah. Do we know anything more? Has this person been in trouble before? Do we know if this gentleman's had any sort of transgressions in the past?
I do not know that answer.
Okay.
Apparently, the neighbors, though, said that there was women coming and going at all hours of the night, always.
Yeah. Okay.
And that the police are now looking for a specific mattress and box spring that apparently he threw out because of this.
Okay, well, let's do more fun stories on the show from now on. Because I
asked you if it was too.
There's just not a lot to transition off of from this, so I'm just going to do it awkwardly. I have some questions for you, some things that I just need your help on. I know you stay plugged in on this. Are you familiar with Joe Jonas?
Yes. Didn't he just have his third wedding or something?
Yeah. Do you know anything more about that? Why he continues to get married? I guess to the same person. Do we know anything more about this?
It's something about the religion.
About the religion.
Is Joe the one that married?
No.
The girl from the show we
No. Good details for the folks listening.
This
so
is
no,
this is
Joe married somebody named Sophie Turner.
I think it's part of their religion.
Part of their religion. Okay. I don't know why. Do you know what religion they are?
Or maybe it's just for their fan. I don't know. I did see they got married again in Paris or something. Right?
Yes, they apparently married in Las Vegas at the Billboard Award, after the Billboard Awards, and then they got married again.
Yeah.
That just seems weird.
Well, I guess if you have money, you can do anything. One wedding was expensive enough for us.
Yes, it was. Okay, so that's good analysis on today. If you have money, you can do anything. Stephanie, please tell me you have more news. Is this all the news stories for the week?
That's all I have.
All right. Well, we'll get better for next week's news stories. Maybe find some more fun stuff. I don't know.
You didn't like my cat door one.
Look, very good moments.
That was supposed to be my fun one.
The owl powered door will live on forever.
This is supposed to be the fun part of the show. I doubt that.
All right, Steph, you don't know this, but I have to make up the titles for these shows. Are you aware of that?
Yes.
You actually have no clue what happens after you leave the room. You're here for like 37 and a half minutes. You leave, and then whatever happens next happens next.
You just create the magic.
I may title the show, Our Kids Continue to Get in the Way. Aiden is now bored and wants something to do, so who knows how long this podcast will go for. But this is the fun segment. The one where you never know what's happening because you don't really play a role in the fun segment portion. Feel free to, by the way.
No, you do good on your own.
All right, well, I found a list, Stephanie. I'm big on lists. You know, I love my lists.
Yep.
You know what's coming up this week, right?
4th of July.
4th of July. And so I found a list of the top foods that you need at your 4th of July cookout.
Okay, I can handle that.
I got a big problem with this list.
You probably don't eat half of it.
More than half. So
Do I?
let's well, you eat anything. Let's roll down this list here. So I want you to chart for me on that paper in front of you there, the one that you threw at the microphone earlier. Of the things on this list, how many things I eat and how many things you eat. You can tally it for us if you'd like.
Okay.
How much paper did you need for it? Wasn't that hard of a task. Okay. All right. So this is the top 15 foods. This comes courtesy of Mashable.com.
Okay.
Are you ready for number 15?
Yes.
It is none other than salad.
Oh, my favorite.
Trash. So for me, macaroni salad is... That's a no-go for you? You're pro?
It's a must.
All right, so 1-0, Stephanie. What macaroni salad is just what? Macaroni with
It's like creamettes and tuna.
mayonnaise?
Yeah. And then some people put other stuff in it, like hard-boiled eggs, celery, peas.
Hard-boiled eggs?
Yeah.
How does that go together?
Oh, it's good.
I don't understand.
Think about it. When people make egg salad, they put mayonnaise with it.
Also, just in, I don't eat egg salad. I don't understand. Okay, so macaroni salad number 15. Is that the right ranking, high or lower?
I would have put it in the top 5.
Top 5.
Yeah.
All right, number 14. Cherry pie. Stephanie, cherry pie.
Well, I agree with pie, but not cherry.
Okay, so no cherry pie. I'm also going to give it the no good. I agree with pie. I only eat like 3 kinds of pie in my life. Cherry pie, not one of them.
Apple pie is not on that list?
I can't give you the list in advance. You have to just take it in the order that it's in, Stephanie, okay? For crying out loud. Cherry pie for me, not something I'm in part of. I'm team pumpkin pie. I don't mind a chocolate pie.
Pumpkin pie is not 4th of July.
I don't mind. I've had a little lemon meringue situation. Don't mind that. Key lime, not as bad, but cherry pie, just get out with that. Number 13, gonna be controversial, Stephanie. I think I know how you feel about this one. 13 is coleslaw.
Ooh.
That's a double. It's a double no good. There are some types of coleslaw I'd be okay with. But this is, I'm not a huge coleslaw. Like I actually have had it on a sandwich before and didn't know it was on there. And afterwards I was like, oh, okay, that wasn't so bad. Because it's kind of like lettuce.
It's just lettuce and mayonnaise.
Again with the mayonnaise.
And some vinegar.
I mean, shout out to Bobo. Again with the mayonnaise. I don't understand. Okay. Potato chips coming at number 12.
Yes.
That's a double ding. Big potato chip guy. Love me some potato chips. Favorite potato chip, Stephanie, is what?
Mine or yours?
I'll talk about myself. Why don't you talk about you?
I like... Does this count as potato chips? Like Cheetos? Doritos?
No, Cheetos and Doritos are not potato chips. You know what a potato chip is, Stephanie?
Okay,
what's the crux of a potato chip? Potato. You need it to be made of a potato.
Okay, so then I say the wavy Ruffles.
Wavy Ruffles.
Plain.
Of course. Why would you have any flavor in your life?
Correct.
Okay, so plain, wavy Ruffles for you. Me, I like the kettle cooked jalapeno.
Yep.
Like a little spice on my chip, a little flavor on my chip. So that's my preference.
I just bought you a bag today for 4th of July.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Wow. Look at me. Okay. Number 11. This is controversial, Stephanie. I don't know. Hold on. My computer's frozen here. But I can still tell you what number 11 is. Burgers.
Yes.
Just says burgers. Now, I would have thought burgers have been higher on the list. I mean, burgers are a staple of what you do during 4th of July.
I think hot dogs are the staple.
Hot dogs are the staple.
Because they have the hot dog eating contest.
Interesting. Yeah, you're right. They do indeed have a hot dog eating contest. But burgers are part of, I don't know, just, what
Your
you do.
everyday
You
life.
do hamburgers, you do hot dogs. I felt like that's just part of what people do. Burgers, dogs.
So are you saying yes or no?
For me, I like a good burger. I've been heavy on the grass feds of late, so I do like a good burger. Cheese and bacon, please, though.
Me, just cheese.
Yeah, you and the plainness. I don't even take. Okay, number 10. I know we're gonna disagree here. Number 10, bratwurst.
Oh.
Yeah, for me that's a. You give me some beer battered brat. I haven't had a bratwurst in a while. Ever since we moved to California, the bratwursts here are all kinds of different.
Yeah, I can't find the beer batter.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, I was big on the brats there in the Florida markets, but here in California, you can't get a good brat anymore. What's up with that, people? Seriously.
I don't have an answer.
What? I need a good brat. But brats are good. So brats for me are good. This is Steph. Hold on, real quick. Number 9, strawberry shortcake.
Oh, I like
Yeah,
strawberry
I know you
shortcake.
do. I'll give you another one of those. That's a pass for me.
That's because it's strawberry.
Yeah, it's not a dessert. I'm not anti-strawberry. I mean, I am, but I'm not. Like, I don't eat strawberries per se, but I don't have a reason to. But strawberry shortcake. What is strawberry shortcake? I'm looking at this picture here. It looks like
It's strawberries, whipped cream, and like a pound cake.
okay, and it's good. Why?
Put the 3 together, it just tastes good.
Why?
I don't know.
Describe the taste to me. Is it sweet? Is it savory? Is it?
I guess it's sweet.
Okay.
I like just strawberries and whipped cream in general, or Cool Whip.
Okay. All right. Well, your word. Number 8 on this list. Again, I know we're frozen computer again. Here we go. Number 8. Deviled eggs.
Oh, I like deviled eggs, but I don't like making them.
Okay, so that's and for me, it's a hard. What exactly is a deviled egg? Can you describe it to me again?
Your grandmother makes awesome
I know
deviled
people
eggs.
say they're good. I don't.
It's a hard-boiled egg. You take out the middle and you like mix the middle part, the yolk part, with mustard, mayonnaise, and a few seasoning, and then you put it back in the middle of the egg. You cut the egg in half.
So let me get this straight, really quick. Hold on. Eggs and mustard
And mayonnaise.
and mayonnaise, of course. That's good.
It is in this combination.
I don't.
yes.
How? I don't even understand.
I can't help you.
I didn't ask you to help me.
You say
Wow.
I'm plain. Look at you. Look, my
That's
list
not-
is much longer than yours. And like,
That's not. Real quick, Kristaps Porzingis, 5 years, 158 to the Mavericks. Now he got traded there mid last year, coming off an ACL tear, left the Knicks. Now the Knicks did all this work stuff because they thought they were getting multiple max free agents. They were after Durant, they were after Kyrie, and both those guys signed with the Nets. And they gave up Porzingis really for nothing at this point. So the Knicks are just left holding the bag.
yikes.
So the zinger, Kristaps Porzingis, back to Dallas, 5 for 158. That's a nice haul, Stephanie. All right, continue. Number 7, kebabs.
I'm okay with a kebab.
All right. I mean, if you're okay with it, I don't want to kebabs. I don't want to. Yeah, I'm pro kebab. They're tough to cook though.
Yeah, but they had them at the grocery store today. I almost bought them.
They're tough to cook because there's the veggies that those burn a little faster than the meats do sometimes. Do people did they cook stuff independently and then put the skewer through? Is that how that's really done? Because usually you bootleg it and just buy the ones already made and put them on the grill.
Yeah.
And that's problematic because like the steak is tough or the chicken isn't done enough, but like the onions are like burnt to a char. So cooking them is a challenge for sure. But I'm pro kebab. If someone's out there can make us a good kebabs, I mean, find us. You know where we're at. We're not hard to find. Number 6, Stephanie. I'm sensing a theme with these foods, by the way.
Is it mayonnaise?
I believe there's mayonnaise involved in this. Number 6 is potato salad.
See, I like potato salad.
And surprisingly, or not surprisingly, I am anti-potato salad. Don't even understand it. What do we got here? We got potatoes. We got mayonnaise, of course, again. Shout out to Bobo.
Celery.
Celery of
sometimes.
some sort. This that looks like it has some radishes in it. Is that a traditional?
Some people can do that. Some people put relish or pickles, and I don't like that.
I don't mind relish on like a hot dog, but
People do that in their macaroni salad too, and I don't like that.
is there mustard involved in this? This article makes it seem as though mustard may be involved.
There is a little bit of
course there's
mustard.
What
You
is it
can't
with
taste it though.
Why are people just taking the mustard and the mayonnaise and like throwing a rando third item in there and calling it a dish? What's wrong with you people? I don't understand. All right,
I don't like mustard, but I'm okay with that in there.
Of course you are. Number 5, baked beans.
I need my baked beans.
I know you do. And I do not need my baked beans. I do not need my baked beans. I don't get it. Black, pinto, whatever, Bush's baked beans, whatever they are. Not a fan of the bean. It's the it's the sauce. It's just like, it's like lambasting and some sort of a like fermented sauce of some sort.
In a can for
It's
years.
like stewing in its own, remnants. That's not good.
Well, now you just made it sound gross.
Or I described it accurately and you were just eating something that's not good. Number 4, I'm not here's the thing of number 4. I don't have anything against it. I don't eat this because it's just, I don't know, it's just not practical. But number 4 is barbecue ribs.
I'll eat it if somebody has made it, but I don't want to make it.
All right, I'll give you the ding on that one. I mean, I got nothing against barbecue ribs. My contention with ribs, and it's kind of the same way with chicken wings, is it's a lot of work for a little amount of food.
Yes.
Right? You're getting sauce everywhere. You're ripping apart these things, and you're not getting that much food per se. It's almost more of the exercise of getting the food that seems to be what makes people enjoy it as much. But I'm not a huge fan of the rib. Again, I'll eat it if it's in front of me, but it's not something I need. It's not a staple of my food regimen per se. Number 3, Stephanie, I know how you feel about this one. Corn on the cob.
I like corn on the cob.
I don't mind corn on the cob. I don't eat a lot of corn in general. You need those corn holders for the corn on the cob, which is kind of awkward. I like to just cut my corn right off with a knife per se. I don't eat a lot of corn.
It's a hard thing to have at a barbecue because you get it all in your teeth.
Corn,
And you don't want to be like talking to somebody and have corn all in your teeth.
There's also, I've always been just weirded out by the digestive principles that come with corn. How does that happen? I don't understand.
It doesn't digest.
I understand. And I just feel like you're wasting your time. You just go throw your corn in the bathroom and call it a day. It's just, what's it getting me? Like, is the nutrients staying? It doesn't taste that good for me to want to eat it. Sidebar conversation. You know how I feel about this. This is revolutionary. There's a bunch of you out there who, if you know me, you've heard this before. I don't put salad dressing on my salad.
He's crazy.
And for the very same principle I'm going to espouse upon you here, is that salad is not something I enjoy eating. It is an absolute labor of love. Anybody who eats salad eats it because it's supposed to be healthier, right? And for those of you out there who are like, no, I really like salad, stop it. You're lying to yourself. You don't really like salad. And so what other people do is to mitigate the fact that they don't like salad, they drench it in some sort of a sauce of some kind, right? Ranch, blue cheese, some sort of vinaigrette, Italian, whatever the thing is, right? My thing is, like, that ruins the principles of the salad, yes?
Yeah, so then you're not eating healthy.
So if I have to eat salad because of its nutritional value or the fact that it's better than eating something else, I'm just going to suffer through it.
But you can make, like, really healthy dressing with, like, lemon juice and vinegar.
But I don't need all that. Like, how long is that going to take? I'm in there making a dressing with lemon juice and vinegar.
Well, you can make, like, a whole thing and then use it as you need it.
Okay, great. What's the word? Can I go get the salad dressing that you make out of the fridge?
No, because it's...
But wait a minute. You just said you could just make a... So if you could just make a dressing, why is there some in there of yours I could have?
No.
Huh. I don't understand.
Because mine's not the healthy version.
But you could just make the healthy version.
I could.
Okay, fair enough. So I feel this way about corn as well. I don't like corn enough to eat it a bunch. If there's not going to be a nutritional value to me, it's just not worth the effort. Number 2, probably more for the kid at heart here, Stephanie. Number 2, firecracker popsicles. See the popsicles that are like different colors?
Mm-hmm, they're red, white, and blue.
Red, very good.
You did not say that.
I did not know. Thank you for clarifying. Firecracker popsicles coming at number 2. I mean, I don't really.
They're okay. I mean,
what won't you eat? Apparently, I have this thing just against cold desserts of some sort. I don't like ice cream.
Yes, the kids love ice cream, and every time they say, "Let's go get ice cream, Daddy," he's like, "I don't like ice cream.
I don't really like ice cream. It's cold. Like I don't need that in my life. I feel the same about popsicles." And number 1, as foreshadowed by you, Stephanie,
hot dog
is the hot dog. Yes, it is indeed the hot dog. What goes on a hot dog, Stephanie?
Ketchup.
No, it does. It does not go on there.
You say relish.
I do say relish. I also say really quick: Harrison Barnes, 4 years, 85 mil to the Kings. Terrence Ross, 4 years, 54 to the Magic, and Al Farouk Amino, 3 years, 29 mil to the Magic. So the Magic re-signed Vucevic. Now Terrence Ross, Al Farouk Amino leaving Portland, go to Magic. Harrison Barnes, 4 years, $85 million. Stephanie, is that too much for Harrison Barnes?
I don't know who that is.
It might be a little too much for Harrison Barnes. Harrison Barnes was a member of the 2015 world champion Golden State Warriors.
Oh.
He got traded to Dallas as part of the essentially cap spearing. Wow, there we go. Cap clearing space for Kevin Durant. And so he is now stuck back here in the NorCal area with the Sacramento Kings.
Oh.
And then real quick, Steph, last week. So those are the top 15.
I just want to add.
Yeah.
Also on hot dogs. That's good. Chili.
Let me just find so many buttons here. There we are. No. How? Oh, no.
Yes.
It's just super messy.
Yes.
So out of the foods that you mentioned there, how many of them was I committed to eating? How many were you committed to eating?
So Adam was 8.
I had 8 of those, really? That seems high for me.
I was 12.
8? Okay.
But you were on the fence with corn on the cob, barbecue ribs, kebabs, and the firecracker popsicles.
Okay. You're right. I'm on the fence with those.
But you say I'm plain. I'm willing to eat almost all those things.
Sure. There's some other things I won't mention on the podcast. We didn't do this last week, Stephanie. Pick a number. So this is our interesting question of the week. What number you got?
Did we already do 7?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's do
1 to 69. Feel free.
Let's do 61.
It's not that hard. Here we go. Toilet paper.
Oh boy.
Over or under? So
There's no just regular?
no, like when you put it on.
You were saying like over or under. What is it?
I really wish I had a free agency signing I could announce right now. So when you put it on the roll, is it coming from the over part or the under part?
Well, in our house, we don't even put it on the roll most of the time.
We don't put it on the roll?
Yes, because
That's not
it'll
true.
sit there and
That is
nobody
not true.
puts it on except for me.
Oh, what? No. You were notorious for not putting it on the roll.
Yeah, and then you don't do it either.
Oh, because I don't want to hurt your feelings. Over or under?
Let's see when I put it on. I'm an under.
I agree. I'm also under. I do think we're in the minority in that, though. I've heard this topic discussed other places. Don't ask me why. And I
where.
feel like over is the typical setup for most of the toilet paper on toilet paper holder configurations.
Well, maybe that just means we're meant to be together.
Crap. No pun intended. Yeah, the over part is just hard because I feel like, I don't know, like the under just feels.
I don't like how, when you pull
smoother, you know?
from it under, it's.
Yeah. When you pull from it under, right? Exactly. Well said, Stephanie. That's I'm glad you shared that with us. So, I told you this would be fun.
That was so fun.
Something is annoying my dad. What else is new?
All right, we will begin wrapping this thing up, Stephanie. No free agency news, but I'll keep you posted. So things are annoying in the world. That's a given. Many things annoy me. What annoys you? So this past week, what's out there that's annoyed you?
I don't know if it's just happened this past week, but this is just in general over my life.
Over your life. Okay.
So
I'm excited about this, by the way.
most people won't agree with me on this, and that's okay. But if somebody tells me like a time to be someplace, I'm there at that time.
Okay.
And so it is a little bit annoying to me if somebody tells me a time to be somewhere or meet somewhere, and then they don't show up for like 30, 45 minutes. And so...
Call names, Steffi. Call names.
I'm not calling any names.
Call names. Call them out.
I'm not calling any names. It's just, I don't know. I work really hard to be places on time and to be organized enough to get there on time and be prepare like the night before, let's say, or
Soccer game. Continue to win for me, by the way. Nice admission there. Check back to your shows.
so.
Told you I won.
But I know some people just don't work on that kind of time. Like you say 11 o'clock, that means 11-ish. Anytime between 11 and 11:59.
Mm-hmm.
For me, if you, like, let's say invite me to your house for a barbecue, talking about 4th of July.
Yeah.
If you tell me 4, I'm going to be there at 4 o'clock, maybe 4:01. So if you don't want me to be there really until 4:30, then you got to tell me that.
Do you think this is why we don't get invited places?
It might be.
Yeah. I mean, look, punctuality is important. In some places it's expected in the workplace, right? Like court dates, whatever. Like it's expected that you're punctual. So punctuality is certainly an important part of society, in my opinion.
Well, and I think so. The way I was raised, my dad was always like, if you're not early, like being early is on time. If you're there on time.
You were trying to get that saying out, weren't you?
Yeah.
But you don't know, do you?
I know.
Okay.
If you're there on time, then you're late. What's the saying?
The saying goes, if you're early, you're on time. If you're on time, you're late. If you're late, don't bother showing up.
There it is.
It's an old sports saying back in the day. There's no way your dad would have known that. Oh, hold on. I only get to... Wow, that's a lot of money for that guy. Hold on a second. Let me just... All right, Bojan Bogdanovic, 4 years, $73 million with the Utah Jazz. Good player with the Pacers, Stephanie. He's not a superstar by any stretch. He's probably like a number 2 type guy. Maybe number 3, I guess. Pacers had an interesting year. Oladipo got hurt. Probably derailed their chances. But Bojan Bogdanovic, he's the name that you'd heard potentially going to the Lakers on one of those kind of contracts. So the Lakers essentially have a ton of money to spend. They're going after one free agent. At this point, it's not going to be Kyrie. It's not going to be Durant. So all their eggs are in the
Thompson?
All their eggs are in the Kawhi Leonard basket. Clay's an outside shot. Everyone believes if Golden State just offers Clay his money, he's going to take it. Now that Durant's not going there, they have the money to offer him. So I don't see why they wouldn't give Clay his 5 for $190. And then essentially that just leaves Kawhi going to the Lakers. So it puts the Lakers in a bit of a spot here because essentially this either means 2 things. One, Bogdanovic had a really good offer, went back to the Lakers or whomever and was like, hey, here's what we're going to do. So either the Lakers are really comfortable that they're going to get Kawhi Leonard, or they're just rolling the dice and saying, hey, we're not going to give away that kind of money for that too. Oh, well, hold on, just But don't cry for the Pacers, Stephanie, because they have just inked Malcolm Brogdon to a 4-year, $85 million deal. Apparently, they're going to do some sort of a trade with the Bucks. So Brogdon, another name here with the Lakers. Now he's going from the Bucks to the Pacers. A lot of movement here. All Eastern Conference, though. You seeing the pattern here?
Yeah, I don't know most of these people, but
I know you don't. A lot of Eastern Conference stuff too. So people shouldn't be late.
Correct.
And do you ever say anything to people? So I know you were a big fan of punctuality.
I don't ever say anything to somebody about being late, but if somebody tells me like, hey, come over to my house at this time, I will say like, is this really the time you want me to be there? Or like, are you saying that thinking I won't be there for 30 minutes? Because if so, tell me the time you really want me to be there.
Okay. You're a joy at parties. Let me just tell you this right now. You're a joy at parties. Here's my annoyance, Stephanie.
What is it?
My annoyance is beer.
How is that possible? You love beer.
Well, let me tell you exactly. You go to the store and you buy beer.
Me or you? Or all of us?
Most people should, but there's some times where you go and you buy beer and it's in some sort of a cooler situation. And then sometimes it's just sitting out on the shelf.
Okay.
Why are we ever selling beer that's not cold? A, right? And then B, why isn't there a device that when I get home, I can just put my beer in it, it gets it cold instantly? I know have you heard of the refrigerator, right? It takes a couple hours, if not longer, to get it up to the right temperature, right? Yeah. I need like an instantaneous, like cold situation. Same thing with like sodas and stuff. You buy them from the store and you bring them home when they're warm. With a soda, you put some ice in it, though. You don't have that luxury with an ice cold beer, although it's called ice cold beer, so figure that one out.
Then all the checks would have to be refrigerated that they're delivering the stuff in.
Or they just put them in refrigerators in the stores.
That would cost the store more electricity.
But they already have, like, Target has refrigerators where they have their beer, yes?
Yes.
And then they have a shelf of, why can't that stuff just break into the fridge?
I don't know. You've worked in in Target. What's the reason?
No one sat down with me and gave that reason. But it's interesting. It's annoying because now I got to go home and I have to wait. So if you go to the store and you're like, oh look, I want to get some beers, and they're warm, like why would you do that?
It makes you sound like you really need that beer right away.
But like you did. If you went to the store to buy the beer, like odds are you wanted to drink it in a pretty close time frame. No one's like, hey, I want to pick up a sixer for next Thursday. When you're at the store and you see the beer, that's what you're gonna do. Like, and it's warm. What are we doing with that?
I don't know. I picked up a 12-pack for you today for Thursday. So.
It was a 9-pack.
Oh, 9-pack.
If we're gonna be clear, and it was for Thursday, yes. But it also wasn't a variety that I was looking for.
So then you went and bought your own.
Well, I was at the store. We were passing by the aisle, and I was like, "Oh, look at that!" We had to get a hose, right? We needed a hose. The hose. So I had to go get a hose. And while I was walking past, do you know where the hose is at in Target?
Not in the same place as the beer.
It is too. You take that back aisle. I always go back aisles. The front aisle's too crowded. Paparazzi, all kinds of people. You go back aisles
and
then
you're walking.
You
gotta go left after the beer.
No, you don't. You keep going straight, right in the seasonal section.
Okay.
It's right there. Ask Addison. She was with me. You break it right off the aisle. It's right there in the end. There was the hosers.
All right.
So, I mean, but it was warm. And so I had to put it in the freezer.
Freezer? Did you take it out?
Yes, I took it out. Freezer? Yes, I took it out of the freezer.
Sometimes you forget it in there.
That did happen one time. You're correct. That happened one time. So I'm annoyed by that. I think we should just figure that out. Either I need a device that can get like things instantly cold that can't be ice because there's just trouble with that, or I need all stuff in like really cold cooler situations.
What they need to create is the box that they put the beer in, some way like to like just refrigerate that box, like a little plug on the side, like you plug it in like almost like your phone, and it can be cooled instantly. No?
Al powered?
Yep, Al powered.
Great. Well, I don't know that we should end the show on any note other than that one right there. So let's just do that then. So episode 13 in the books. Again, feel free to find us on Facebook, Instagram at the Up and Adam Podcast. Make sure you tell your friends, subscribe, rate, review, download, do all those things. Numbers were back up this week, Stephanie. You're welcome.
Oh, really?
Numbers were back up. We snuck back up where we were. So let's get this momentum going. I need to see you out there. I need more publicity out of you on this thing. Okay.
Okay.
I need it on your Facebook page more. I need you telling people, bumper stickers, whatever you got.
Bumpers. I can order. I know how to order.
Are we doing
cards.
the Zumba this week? Can we hand out cards for the Zumba?
We could.
Like you hand out the card for the Zumba, and then you just go ahead and also say, by the way, subscribe, rate, review, download, whatever that looks like.
You should have told me. I could have ordered business cards.
Business cards. Nothing says we're a fun podcast like some business cards. So we'll get those out to you. Until we do, though, keep listening, keep telling your friends, and we appreciate y'all. Have a good, happy, safe 4th of July holiday weekend.
Bye.